Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining New Jersey Wedding Podcast. We are your hosts, Andrea and Celia Milton, and we are both professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. So, New Jersey Wedding Podcast, as one listener just recently said to me, this is the best podcast for planning your wedding in New Jersey. So, I'm going to make that our little tagline.
Oh my God, did my mother call you again? Jeez.
Good morning, Celia. I know it's a Monday morning, great weekend of ceremonies because
Mhm.
finally the rain left us. So it was chilly but good.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful weekend. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're excited. We get to talk about one of the more fun parts of wedding planning today, which is what comes afterwards. We have Mindi Philips, who's the creator of Beloved Getaways. She basically helps couples go from stressed to calm by assisting with their honeymoon, destination wedding dreams, and really get your vision coming to life based on your travel style and your specific budget. And I think that that's sometimes the thing that gets people through wedding planning is knowing that there's going to be a honeymoon at the end of it. So,
Right.
so welcome, Mindy. Tell us all about you.
Well, thank you, ladies, for having me. I'm really excited to be here and speak with you. So, as Celia already mentioned, my name is Mindi Phillips. I am the owner of Beloved Getaways, and I work with couples not only in New Jersey, but across the United States, planning their honeymoon and destination wedding. So, we usually start out with a consult just to get to know each other and for me to really learn what it is that you are looking for in a honeymoon or a destination wedding. For instance, like on a honeymoon, are you looking to just go to a resort and just enjoy some resort life and laying out on the beach and the pool? Or are you looking to do more adventurous and maybe go to Europe and explore in different areas? So, whatever it is that you are looking for, I work with you and plan the perfect itinerary for you.
Yeah. I totally 100% believe in having a professional, a travel
Mhm.
agent. You just can't beat it. You've gone to so much trouble to plan the details of your wedding ceremony. This needs to extend to your honeymoon as well. There's so many benefits to having a professional travel agent, not just the fact that they have the expertise on the locations and it's time saving. And I think ultimately it can save you money too.
Mhm.
But I think travel agents can often handle the unexpected as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially in today's world, coming out of COVID, there are so many travel hiccups that can happen, and flights are being delayed. What happens if you miss your connection? What happens if your bags are lost? So it's just nice to have that advocate on your side that if something should go awry, you have somebody that you can call. And it is not going to take away from your honeymoon because I will be the one working out the details to figure out what are we going to do for this situation. So maybe it could be something also as, we booked you a swim up oceanfront room, and when you get to the resort, they're trying to put you in another room category. You call me and I handle it and give the resort manager a call and I rectify it while you can start to enjoy your time. So it really is beneficial to have an experienced travel agent, especially one that specializes in romance travel, to help guide you through the process and be there as your advocate in case something should go wrong.
I
Yeah, so
love that.
it's always, I think it's so important to have a point person, whether it's your wedding coordinator on the day or independent planner on the day, somebody that like you don't have to deal with everything. You're not supposed to deal with everything. People who are good at dealing with those things should really deal with them.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And there's things that I'm doing, especially, I can't speak for other agents, but something that I specifically do for my couples, especially if you're going to like an all-inclusive resort, is prior to your arrival, I am sending that resort manager an email and saying, listen, I have this couple coming in. This is what we booked. Please make sure they're registration when they arrive at the resort is seamless for them. So I'm letting people know, hey, I have somebody coming on property. And that speaks volumes because I do spend a lot of time building up these relationships with these
Right.
resort managers
Mhm.
and also the resort wedding planners for those that are looking for a destination wedding. And when they see that I am recommending their property to a couple, they're going to make sure that that couple is taken care of because it all goes back to relationship building.
Yeah, it
Exactly.
really does. It does.
Absolutely.
Mindy, do you find that, because I'm seeing this with my couples, that a lot of them are not going on a honeymoon immediately after their wedding? Is that a trend that well, it's probably not even a trend because it's been happening for a while, but is that something that you see or recommend? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, we are seeing that. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to budget. A
Mhm.
lot of these couples, they can only take so much time off of work, and they may want to
Right.
do that more extravagant honeymoon, like going to Europe, which you
Mhm.
really, yes, can it be done in a week? Yes, but really, if you want to do Europe, you need to have at least 10 to 14 days, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Mhm.
So couples are waiting, depending, especially depending on the season that they're getting married, maybe waiting a year and doing that big trip for their 1 year anniversary. And maybe after the wedding, just do something little for a couple of days.
Mhm.
Mini
I
moon.
yeah, so you see a little bit of everything, and but I always tell my couples, please give yourself that day in between the
Yeah.
wedding and before when you leave for the honeymoon, because there is just so much going on the night of the wedding, and you want to have that day to breathe afterwards. That, if I need to run to Walmart to get more suntan lotion, I have it before we leave. So that is a key advice that I give to all my couples. Give yourself that day buffer at least. But yeah,
Got him.
people are waiting. We live in a Instagrammable world, so it's all about the pictures and everything. And these couples want those moments and be able to do the trip the way they want to. So yeah, a lot of them are going bigger and waiting. And the other thing that we see a lot too is even if they go on their honeymoon, like right after the wedding, especially coming out of COVID, they want those more private rooms, whether it had
Mhm.
their own
Oh,
suite
yeah.
room or a plunge pool. They don't want to be in with the general public. They want those upgraded level rooms, and they love the butlers to spoil them.
Yeah, I could see that. That's what I
Well,
would want.
oh yeah, really. Well, and how many times really does your average person or couple have the chance to really just be catered to? It's usually not very often.
Right.
I imagine you handle all sizes though, because we talked about maybe go away for a couple of days before the big honeymoon. People sometimes refer to it as mini moons. Do
Mhm.
you do the mini moon, the just weekend getaway?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The couples want to do something. So they're going to either go away for a long weekend or they're going to go do like a resort or something someplace in another country for a couple of days, depending on what it is that they're looking for, or they're gonna do something really big later on. And it sometimes, comes down to seasons and what they're looking to do. They may put something off as well too. But yeah, they are doing something. They want that first experience as Mr. and Mrs.
Right.
Mhm.
I imagine that budget, if you're budget friendly, you can get a venue, a wedding venue during the winter, off season, cheaper than in the heart of wedding season, and then put off your honeymoon. And if you want to do tropical or something in the summer, put it off to the summer. Yeah, I could see doing that. And then you've saved some money
Mhm.
for the honeymoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I want to ask you, I'm very curious, is there for your traditional honeymoon, is there places that are more popular right now?
Oh, it really depends on the
Oh,
couple. So, if they're going to, like, say, an all-inclusive resort, again, a lot comes down to budget. You'll have a lot of couples that will do, Mexico. And when I say Mexico, people need to realize Mexico is a huge country. It's not just Cancun.
Yeah.
You got Cabo, you got Puerto Vallarta. So there's lots of places in Mexico. but people are looking for also more unique Caribbean islands, whether it be like St. Lucia, St. Vincent,
Okay.
Antigua. As far as Europe goes, I would say a good majority of my clients, we do Italy and
Yeah.
we do Greece for honeymoons. And
Mm,
why we need that time that I said before about the 10 to 14 days is I'm going to move you around. You know, we may
Mhm.
start out for a couple of days in Rome, and then we may go to Florence. Then we may go to Lake Como and leave back to come home from Milan. So you're moving around and getting these little taste and tidbits of the regions of these countries. So um, you do lose some time when you're traveling from one location to another location in these destinations. So it really is important and to your best interest, just because of the time to get there, to have, that extended period of time in these areas.
mm.
Right. I want to mention that you talked about destination weddings. And actually, this weekend, I did a small little elopement for a couple planning a destination wedding because, and we get that a lot, right, Celia?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
choose to marry before they go, or even in some cases when they come back, but mostly before they go here in a private little elopement ceremony with maybe just two witnesses. Because it's easier to get married here than the red tape of getting married
Right.
elsewhere. So that seems
Absolutely.
pretty popular.
Yeah, destination weddings are huge. And I tell people all the time when we are starting out with our initial consultation, if we are looking at resorts that are in the right budget range for your guests and you're giving them ample time, they're going to come. Usually, if you look at your guest list, about 50 to 60% of your guests will come to your destination wedding. And many of them will make it an extended vacation. It's very popular, and especially with the cost of weddings these days, so many couples are turning to the destination wedding alternative in order to save money. And also, it becomes a weekend long celebration. You may be doing a welcome cocktail party the night everybody's arriving. Then you may be doing some kind of dinner or event, whether it be, a Mexican fiesta, or maybe you're just going to do something small like a s'mores bonfire on the beach the night before the wedding for all your guests. And then you have the day of the wedding, that whole celebration. And then usually the next day, there may be some kind of brunch and then do some kind of group activity like a catamaran cruise. So it extends everything for such a longer period of time than just that one day. And it really gives you the time to spend with your friends and family.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. So
It is.
that would be the way to do it. But all right then. And what advice do you have? Any other advice that you would give your couples? I know you talked about the advanced planning. Anything else you want to let couples know?
I think you also, as a couple, you have to, especially before we set up our meeting, have some conversations. What is it that you're visioning? You may want to just lounge on a beach where your fiance is really looking to be out and explore. So I think
Mm,
having some conversations ahead of time really does help keep that open mind as to what you're looking for when we have our initial call. And sometimes you just don't know. And especially when it comes down to budget, people are like, oh, okay, my budget is, $5,000. I want to go to Italy for 2 weeks. And a lot of it comes down from me educating them because they just don't know. Sometimes this is the first experience of a couple going out of the country or even being on an airplane for that instance. So they're not seasoned travelers. And in our conversations, I will educate them so they, are aware of all the opportunities that are out there because they may not be aware of it.
It's
Yeah.
funny too, because I do I facilitate a marriage education program. It's not, we can't really call it counseling because it's not that intense, but one of the worksheets that the couples fill out is on their vacation style, on their
Mhm.
leisure style, because if one of you wants to go away every time they possibly can and the other person is like, I'm just really happy here on the couch, there's probably some discussions that have to be made.
Yeah.
And they could probably do both. Somebody's out in the surf and the other person's in the room on the couch, but that's probably not something to iron out beforehand.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say that your website is beautiful, and you have a great portfolio on there, and couples can easily get in touch with you on there. Just hit the get in touch button and make an appointment to speak with you and start planning their honeymoon or destination wedding. I know you do other things too. You do vacations, but
Sure.
right, but you specialize in
I spec
romance
yeah.
travel. Yeah,
Yeah,
which
I
I love that.
specialize, the majority of my business is honeymoons and destination weddings, but I do help, with all travel needs. Whatever anybody is looking to do, but my niche is honeymoons and destination weddings.
Right, right. So I want to tell everybody listening that the website is belovedgetaways.com, and we will be posting a link to that as well as their Instagram site on our social media, New Jersey Wedding Podcast. So you can easily click on them and go to their website or Instagram site and see the beautiful pictures and get in touch with Mindi and start talking about your honeymoon or destination wedding. And so I want to thank you for joining us today. Mindi, how many years have you been in business? Because you have a great network of um, places that all across the globe that you work with. How long have you been in business?
Sure. Well, I have been in the wedding industry now for 28 years. I
Wow.
actually started with a balloon decorating company.
Wow.
I am also a certified wedding planner, but probably the last 17, 18 years, I have been doing travel.
Yeah,
It was just getting to be too much giving up my weekends when I was raising my daughter.
right.
So I transitioned into the travel aspect of it, still keeping my hands in the wedding industry, and been doing travel ever since with the honeymoons and the destination weddings. I love it. I love it. I love the whole wedding aspect, and I think that's why I gravitate so much towards the destination weddings, because I'm still able to be so involved in the wedding planning with my
Right.
couples. And I'll even travel on site. Sometimes my couples do hire me to be there as the wedding coordinator on site, just overseeing everything because they want to make sure everything is running smoothly. So it
Wow.
kind of gives me
That's
the
great.
best of both worlds.
That's great. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I think this is great information for
Thank you.
brides and grooms planning their wedding or their honeymoon. Always go with a professional, and it's fabulous. Thank you so much, Mindi.
Well, thank you, ladies, for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope all the listeners were able to, take away some kind of piece of information. As I like to say, I planned the grand finale of the wedding.
I like that.
You
That's
do.
good.
You
Yeah,
do.
you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you,
right.
ladies.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was really great to have Mindi from Beloved Getaways join us. Like I said before, her website is absolutely beautiful. And I really believe in having a professional work for
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
We all think in today's world you can Google and just do your own thing, but it's overwhelming. Having a travel agent, especially a honeymoon specialist.
You want to think about that. We were talking, I said, we went on a cruise years ago. We had to take a plane from New Jersey to Florida and then a bus from someplace in Florida, to some other place in Florida, and then get on the boat. Doesn't seem like a really hard chain of events, but literally everything was messed up. And my travel agent literally literally saved us because the planes were mismatched. Something was late and we couldn't get on our plane to Florida. We got there, we didn't have any reservations on the bus. We got to the boat and they had no idea who we even were. And my travel agent, like, she was like, you do not do this to my clients. You do not. And we ended up in like the presidential suite with like 4 rooms overlooking the end of the boat. It was like fabulous. But,
Right.
I think the point is that, that she made, and I completely agree with her, is that, we tend to think that because we have access to online resources that we can do everything. But
Yeah.
it's not that. It's the personal experience with having booked a couple into, like, say, for Sandals, for instance, the first one that came to mind, having booked somebody into this place. What are the ins and outs? What should you know? How can you maximize your time there? And having the relationship with the people feet on the ground that makes all the difference in your experience there. I think that that's so important.
Right. And Mindy has over 20 years of experience and expertise.
Mm,
You and I know, just being in our profession. I mean, I've been doing it 14 years. You've been doing it longer as a wedding officiant in New Jersey, that the relationships that we have built, and we can call on people. We know who to call on for this or that. She has those relationships with
yes.
her destination venues, and they want to keep her. It's a good relationship. They want her
Yeah.
bringing people in there, so
Yep.
they're going to treat her and her couples the best, because
Yeah.
they want that business. They want her to bring
Absolutely.
all the couples there, so you're going to be treated first class when you use Mindy at Beloved
Yeah.
Getaways, or any travel agent that has this expertise. So, and
You
I
know, I,
just, the
I think
handling the
it's
unexpected. Yeah.
I think it's a lot like, people talk about, well, why, like, when you say the word wedding, everything gets more expensive, which is nonsense. Because, like, if you're going on a vacation that you go on every year and it's not exactly right, it's like that birthday cake. It's like if the birthday cake isn't exactly right, it's not the end of the world. If your wedding cake is messed up, it kind of is the end of the world, And if your honeymoon is horrible and you've been looking forward to it and, all of your friends and family, maybe they've contributed to it through a
Right.
honeymoon fund or, gifts that they give you. Everybody wants it to be really fabulous for you because how many times do we really get to indulge ourselves to that extent in life? I don't know, maybe once or twice. And
Right.
it needs to be right. And having, she just really communicated that she has that sense of gravity that's like, this is a big thing. And, I know for a lot of my couples, the whole stress of the wedding, I mean, it's fabulous, wonderful stress in most cases, but that honeymoon is kind of like we're just looking down the tunnel to that light at the end. We're gonna get on that plane.
Right. Right. When they can just relax and enjoy their time together. She called it the grand finale
I love
of
that.
the wedding, but it's also the start of your life together.
Yes, it is.
Right.
It is.
So indulge and enjoy and make sure you have it planned out just well, and
Yeah.
have that person there that can handle the unexpected, that can give you. You can tell them, we don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
There's something beyond, Cancun.
Mm.
This is what we like to do. And this is my favorite thing. This is his favorite thing. This is da, da, da. And what do you suggest, So,
She's really kind of like a leisure therapist in that way.
right.
It's like because we talk to our couples about their honeymoons and I've got people who just all they collectively want to do is fly somewhere, lay on a beach and have drinks brought to them. And that
Right.
is absolutely fine, but I have a couple I always remember is a couple that they went to they flew to Germany, rented motorcycles and like motorcycled around the Alps for a while.
Oh, what fun.
Hoping
What
I'm
fun.
hoping that was the Alps. I could you have no knowledge of geography
Be way off.
whatsoever. It could be the Adirondacks, but wherever they went, it was like a hands-on explorer kind of thing.
Right.
And I think something that was mentioned during that interview is very important. It's like couple style with leisure time and vacations is something okay, it's not as important as do you want to have kids or not, or where do you want to live? But it's like kind of right up there. Like everybody's got to be on the same page, at least for the honeymoon, or find a compromise that, okay, we're going to hike
Right.
this day and then tomorrow we're going to lay on the beach. You know?
Right. And I think what fun to give Mindy a call and tell her what you guys like, and to hear the feedback of some places. I bet there are places you hadn't even thought of. Oh my
That's right.
goodness, this is
That's
going to
right.
be great.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
great.
that was a good interview. That was a
It's
fun
good.
interview. That is a really fun part of all of this. That's when the stress goes away and
That's
you can
right.
enjoy your love together. And I did want to say again, not well, is that destination weddings, if you're going to go get married someplace, it is a good idea a lot of the time to legally tie the knot with either
Oh,
myself or
absolutely.
Celia before you go. You still have your great grand wedding, but you don't have to worry about the legal aspects of it or that paperwork. We've done that, on the side here. No one needs to know.
No one needs to know, but
We
you
do
you
it
don't
all
want
the
to be
time.
married by a waiter in Aruba, okay? That's just not
Yeah.
it's not a good life plan. It really
Yeah,
isn't.
yeah, yeah. People can think that was the real one, but we did it a
Yeah.
week before you left
Yeah.
and no one
We have
knows.
nothing against waiters. I just want to make that clear, but we just, waiters are lovely. We love
I
waiters, but
love
they
'em.
probably, unless they're legal, they probably shouldn't be doing your wedding on a beach in Jamaica,
Right. So, all right. So that was fabulous. Everyone give Mindy at Beloved Getaways a call. Look through her website. It's just beautiful, and she can
Mhm.
really help you plan the honeymoon of your dreams.
Yeah, before or after the wedding, either one is fine, right?
Right, right. Right. All right. Or even if you're taking a mini moon.
Yeah.
So, so all right. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thanks again. Bye.
Bye-bye. This podcast is brought to you by Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services, serving all of New Jersey.
And this is Celia Milton from NJ Vows Now. We cover North Jersey and we help our couples vow to be different.